Cleveland, Ohio, 2002. Michelle Knight was the first to vanish. She was 21. Authorities assumed she'd run away. A troubled background, a custody case. No one looked too hard. She slipped through the cracks like a page torn from a forgotten file. Then came Amanda Berry, 16 years old. Went missing one day before her 17th birthday. She had just gotten off work at Burger King. Her mother, Lawana, never stopped calling the police, begging for answers. Some listened. Most didn't. The following year, 14-year-old Gina De Jesus disappeared on her way home from school. The city was shaken. Posters went up. Candlelight vigils were held. Still, no suspects. No sightings. No arrests. 3 girls. All from the same neighborhood. All gone without a trace. People whispered. Some said they had run away. Others weren't so sure. A few neighbors claimed they heard screams on Seymour Avenue. But when police came, they found nothing. Ariel Castro's house looked ordinary enough. Paint peeling from the porch. A chain-link fence. A few boarded windows. The calls kept coming. But the case files kept closing. And the girls? Still missing. Still in that house. Inside 2207 Seymour Avenue, time stood still. Michelle Knight had been there the longest. When Amanda arrived, she barely recognized the voice calling her name through the darkness. Then came Gina. Each girl taken the same way, lured into Ariel Castro's vehicle by a familiar face and a harmless invitation. Then locked away. He chained them in separate rooms. Beat them. Starved them. Controlled their every movement. For years, their world was windows with blackout curtains, plastic buckets for toilets, and televisions they could only watch on mute. Michelle lost count of how many times she was raped. Amanda gave birth to a daughter. Gina was still a child herself. Neighbors heard things. A naked woman crawling in the backyard once. Screams another time. One woman called the cops. They came. Knocked. Castro didn't answer. They left. He played music loudly. Barbecued in the front yard. Gave neighborhood kids rides on his motorcycle. A former school bus driver with no criminal record. For 10 years, they waited. Prayed. Survived. And no one came. May 6, 2013. Amanda Berry waited for Ariel to leave. Her daughter was with her. The lock on the door, usually bolted, had been left slightly ajar. For the first time in over a decade, she saw a chance. She screamed. Neighbors heard it. Charles Ramsey ran to the house. Found Amanda at the storm door. She begged for help. Together, they kicked through the bottom panel. She crawled out, barefoot, panicked, and ran to call 911. The dispatcher's voice crackled over the line. 911, what's your emergency? Amanda's voice, trembling but loud. Help me. I'm Amanda Berry. I've been kidnapped, and I've been missing for 10 years, and I'm free now. Police arrived in minutes. Guns drawn. They raided the house. Inside, they found Michelle Knight and Gina De Jesus. Alive. After more than a decade. Beaten. Starved. Tortured. The basement, the attic, the bedrooms, all were sealed, fortified, layered in psychological horror. Ariel Castro was arrested that same day, and the world, finally, paid attention. The city of Cleveland exploded with emotion. News vans lined Seymour Avenue. Crowds gathered. Amanda Berry's face was everywhere. Michelle Knight, the girl they forgot, became the heart of the story. Ariel Castro was indicted on 977 counts, including kidnapping, rape, and aggravated murder. He pleaded guilty, received life, plus 1,000 years. In court, Michelle stood before him, small, scarred, unbroken. She said, "You took 11 years of my life away, but I got my life back." Gina and Amanda spoke too, their voices shaking but defiant. Each word rewrote the narrative that once cast them as victims. They weren't. They were survivors. After sentencing, Castro was transferred to a prison in Orient, Ohio. He lasted 33 days. He was found hanging in his cell. No goodbyes. No final words. Just a quiet end to a decade of cruelty. But the real reckoning wasn't in a courtroom. It was in the mirror held up to the system, to the way police ignored cries for help, dismissed women with mental health struggles, and failed to protect the vulnerable. The reckoning was just beginning. After the trial, the house on Seymour Avenue was demolished. Michelle, Amanda, and Gina rebuilt their lives in different ways. Amanda became a news correspondent. Gina launched a foundation. Michelle wrote a book. But some wounds aren't visible. Michelle suffered from PTSD, severe anxiety, and panic attacks. Amanda struggled to explain to her daughter where she had been born and why. Gina avoided interviews for years. All of them lived with the shadow of being unheard. This story wasn't about a monster hiding in plain sight. It was about the systems that let him stay hidden. The moments ignored. The women dismissed. The clues chalked up to paranoia. They said Michelle was crazy. They said Amanda had probably just run off. They said Gina's family was overreacting. They were wrong. So many are still wrong. About women, about mental illness, about what's worth listening to. So check the basement. Check the silence. And most of all, check your assumptions. Because somewhere out there, someone is still waiting to be believed. If this story moved you, share it. Subscribe for more real stories that matter.